everybody.
Hi everyone, we're here to discuss a very interesting topic today. It's called What's Your Number?
And now we don't mean what's your telephone number.
Correct. Really? We're so sexy right now.
I feel sexy. What's your number? Of course, everybody knows what that means. The number of yours and your significant others and its effect on your relationships and sexual prowess.
This is going to be a saucy one, people.
So it means how many people you've done the nasty with, you've done the squeaks with.
Oh, I like that. I say that all the time, the squeaks.
Yeah, I think I get it from you.
Yes.
So for anybody that doesn't know what that means, there's super cute movie. I remember this when I was like, coming up with the episode and writing and outlining and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, there was a movie about that. And it was Chris Evans, who was like so cute, and Anna Faris. And in that movie, her issue was that she has had sex with 20 partners. So there was an article that came out that said if you had been intimate with 20 partners or more, the chances of her finding, a relationship like the one or the husband was like non-existent. So she decides not to sleep with anybody else because she doesn't want to increase in the numbers, therefore increasing her rate of failure in finding the one. So that's what the movie's about. Do you agree? 20 is 20 a high number? Do you consider 20 a high number?
I don't know that 20 is a high number. I guess it depends on your age. Right? Because like if you're 18 and you've slept with 20 guys, I think I have a problem with that. Like you surpassed your age number in sex.
That's true.
Like you're 18 but you had sex with 20 guys.
Damn.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Like if I ever found out that my daughter was 18 and had sex with 20 guys, I think I would kill her.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so I think it's all age relevant.
After like washing her mouth.
No, she would be stabbed.
She would be stabbed.
So basically, I just think it's, it depends on your age. I think it depends too on where you are in your life, your personality. It depends on a lot of things. Yeah. I don't think that because somebody, let's say, who's 35 has slept with 20 guys, I don't think that's terrible. I mean, I'm sure men, if you ask men, not that they'll be 100% honest, most of them.
They'll probably raise the numbers.
Yeah, their numbers are way up there.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked? Has somebody ever asked you, what's your number?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
By whom?
I've gotten asked by ex-boyfriends, my ex-husband, dates, which I find that totally inappropriate.
That's inappropriate.
Totally. Yeah. Like, what the hell do I care how many people you slept with?
Especially the first date.
I'm having coffee with you, dude. This is coffee talk. This is not sex talk. What is this? I
know, yeah. I also hate that question. Like, the question is like, what's your longest relationship? That to me is like such a boring question. It's like,
bye.
It's not going to be you. Goodbye. I think that's so boring. It's like, oh my god, you have like nothing else to talk about? It's like, dude, it's like, I don't know you. Like, we're just getting to know each other.
I think that if you ask somebody,
you have no communication skills.
Aside from zero communication skill, I just think that goes to show how insecure you are as a person. Because if you're asking people how many people you slept with before me, what do you care? I mean, you should care as far as diseases go. Like you want to use protection and you don't want to end up having sex with somebody unprotected where you can potentially get a disease, whatever disease that may be.
Yeah.
But, when somebody's asking that, it's not because they want to know if you have gonorrhea or syphilis. It's more because they want to know how many people you slept with.
Yeah, because I think people equate it. Maybe they think, oh my god, you've only been with one person, so that means you're not good in bed. Maybe that's...
Well, I think I have to agree with that. It's like that show, Never Been Kissed. And then the guy and the girl finally make out, and then they're like slobbering all over each other, like sucking each other's lip. It was so disgusting. And like their dog licks your face. It's disgusting. So I think you do need experienced people.
Practice makes perfect.
Correct.
So you say you've been asked. I don't think I've ever been asked. Have you asked somebody else?
I have.
Okay.
I've asked, but I thought, if I remember correctly, I've asked like already when a relationship is established. You know, I just like think it's like form a conversation. Oh, so how many girlfriends have you had?
Yeah.
And I think I've asked in that way, not specifically like how many people have you slept with.
Yeah, I think it's just like, it just comes out of, I mean, it's not like, oh, I have to know. It's like I have to find out, and how do I ask it? It's just like, if it comes out naturally, if you just like wonder, just talking one day, you're like, oh, by the way, like how many, you know.
Right. In the past, when the topic has come up, it's been more because I'm concerned whether or not they have used protection with other people. You know, if they're one of these like free willies that, you know, there's like no protection exists. So I want to know kind of like what I'm getting involved with, you know. So it's not because I have to know how many people you slept with. Like, I don't really care.
But I think too, like if somebody gives you like a really high number, I haven't thought about this until now, but let's say somebody tells you, oh, I don't know, like I don't keep count, or like I don't know, there's been too many that like whatever. Then you think like I'm just like another notch in their belt type of thing. Like, is it?
Well,
Are you just, you know, like if it's such a high number, you're like, dude, so you're like
a slut.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, a guy or girl slut. Guys can be sluts too.
Correct.
Guys are sluts.
Yeah. They're man whores.
Do you think it matters more to men or women? Like what the number is?
I think that the hypocrite answer would be that it matters more to guys, because I think that guys always want to be
the one.
Yeah. And
there was nobody before me.
Yeah, and they want to have this like, you know, Snow White impression of the person that they're with long term. Oh my God, she's so awesome.
You didn't know what sex was before me.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm the big macho stud.
Yeah.
And oh my God, you had sex with 50 guys. You know, it's like a huge blow to the ego, I think.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, how am I gonna compare?
Yeah.
She's gonna be comparing me to like all these 50 guys. Like, you know, am I gonna measure up in more ways than one?
And then what's the name of that movie that is Channing
Tatum?
How
could you get that name wrong?
God.
How could
because
you
I'm
name?
just envisioning the body.
How could you?
And I just got so flustered right now that I'm like, oh my God.
He's single. He's single.
I know, he's so hot. Anyway, you know, then they're gonna have to start watching.
Sorry to his wife.
Magic Mike on, you know, replay.
The guys or the girls?
The guys. To try to get the moves down.
Because the girls do that already.
Yes.
By the way, it's on replay.
My autoplay.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So there was like a little study that was done between Europeans and Americans, and I was totally like shocked by this, because I totally thought Europeans were like so free, you know, more carefree about this, you know, just a carefree attitude towards sex, and you know, they're always like topless and stuff like that. Like their culture is just different. I thought we were totally more prude. I thought we were totally more prude, and it turns out it's not. They surveyed 1,000 people, like 500 women and 500 men. And in this study, the biggest difference between, you know, like men care more about what their number is and vice versa when they're like in their 20s. Like after that is like, it doesn't really matter. Like you're looking for, you know, some other stuff. Like that doesn't really matter.
I would tend to agree with that on the maturity level of it. I think that when you're in your 20s, your maturity is less, perhaps, or so we would hope, than when you're in your 30s and 40s. So perhaps.
So this is what people were comfortable with. The low zone is between, they say, 1 to 2.5 partners, which I don't know what 2.5 partner means.
So does the half mean you? Like you're your own
half a partner? I mean, that's a whole different episode that we need to talk about.
Half a partner, my right hand. Like what is that?
Maybe, or their left hand.
Or
who knows? Who knows? If somebody has 1.5, that's,
Oh my God.
that person's gonna hit, their number's gonna be really high. So that was like the acceptable thing, like 1 to 2.5 partners, whatever that half partner means.
That was the low zone.
That was the low zone. And then the acceptable zone is 2.5 to 5.5 partners.
Where are you getting these halves from? I'm sorry. Are you
This
having
is
sex
what
with
they come
midgets?
up-
Like, what's going
Oh
on?
my god!
Like, what are you doing?
We have nothing against little people.
No.
Okay? Nothing against
Excuse me, I mean little people.
Yeah. I don't know what they mean, but you know how they say, like, people have like 2.5 kids or whatever. It's like,
Yeah, okay.
This is the same thing. So that was like the acceptable zone between 2.5 and 5.5 partners. And then the high dangerous zone, abort, danger.
Highway. Danger zone.
Was more than 5.5 partners.
This is blasphemy. I have to tell you.
So if it's more,
5.5 partners is high. Lord.
yeah, that's not high at all. I mean, not in my book, I don't think.
No.
So more than 5.5 partners, you were like in the trouble zone. Like people would think you're like a slutty slut. So I don't know what that means.
That means people. This is some messed up statistics. I don't know what 500 men and 500 women they polled.
And in their 20s.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
In their 20s is like, I don't know.
This is a huge lie. I think this
in
is
their 20s, I think people are
this
just
is fake news.
in their 20s, people are like, it's like they want to, it's like the bucket list. I want to have do it with this guy and that guy. And yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's really weird that this study came out with that number, but whatever. We'll believe in the statistics. Do you think you should tell your partner? Do you think you should volunteer that information without being?
No, I will not even let you finish the sentence. My philosophy is admit nothing, deny everything. You do not have to tell your partner how many people you slept
Are
with.
you like the don't ask, don't tell type of thing?
Correct.
In this scenario?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
You don't have to know everything.
no, you don't. You don't have to know everything. It's okay. So you don't think you should tell your partner at all?
No. At all.
That's not something you should volunteer.
No. Why do you want to open that can of worms? That's just leave little worms in their cans. Why do you want to open that? No.
Well, in this study, it was really funny too, because a lot of Europeans say that you should never discuss this with your partners. A whopping 43%.
I knew I was European somewhere in my DNA. Yeah, I knew I was.
Yeah, Europeans came higher in like everything. Like you should the one thing that was good is like you should discuss it before sex. If you are going to discuss it, have the discussion before you sleep with somebody, before you get in the sack with somebody. And Americans came at a really, which kind of shocked me too. 54% of Americans say you should discuss this before having sex, before sleeping with somebody.
I think this is so far-fetched and hypocritical to a certain extent. Because what about if you're dating somebody short-term and you just have all this incredible chemistry and you're in the midst of passion? You'd be like, hold on. Wait, I have to ask you something. Before we actually do this, how many people have you had sex with?
What number am I? What's my number?
Yeah, I would think that while you're getting to know someone, you kind of, in a roundabout way, in a smart way, you go and you kind of calculate your own number, and then, well, maybe it might be higher or lower depending, but you ask, oh, so how many boyfriends have you had? How many girlfriends have you had? Is it long-term commitments? And you kind of gauge.
Have you been married?
Way.
Have you been engaged?
Yeah.
What's your longest relationship?
Are you a cheater?
Exactly.
And you kind of figure it out. And then if you want to be with the person, then you be with the person. The most important thing, I think, in the sexual act, when you, of course, passion and desire is important, but the most important is the protection. Correct. You protect yourself, and then as you're moving forward and you get a little more intimate and closer to the person, then if you want to go, down that scary path of what's your number, get ready, because if you're asking the question, you better be ready for the answer.
Yeah. Well, you started that segment with saying, I think that's hypocritical, because if you are dating somebody short term and you're like in the throes of passion, nowadays people are getting in bed so quickly that it's like it's not even, you don't even know if that's going to go anywhere. And it's like, it's true, it's like 54% talk about that before. I highly doubt
That's a
that.
huge lie.
I highly doubt that.
Who's doing these?
Yeah, even before you're having that conversation, you probably, by the time you're gonna have that talk, you probably slept like 10 times already, with each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think people are just doing it so quickly nowadays that there's no time to have this conversation. So Kathy, guess what?
What's that?
When you said that you would think that if you're the person that you were gonna have sex with had only been with one person, you would tend to think that person was not good in bed.
Correct.
Well, people agree with you.
Yay! What prize do I win? You win a new car.
Yes. Most people, Americans especially, for men, 62% of men thought that if you were on the lower spectrum of sexual partners, you probably were not going to be good in bed. And for women, we're so forgiving. We're so much, 56%.
Oh my goodness.
But that's pretty high.
Yeah, they're pretty much almost at the same level.
Mm-hmm. Of all the age groups tested in this study, people in their 60s were the highest by far, who stated that they were very satisfied in their sex life. 0% of people in this age group say that we're unsatisfied.
That's because they're not having sex, so they're happy because they're like, okay, like
no,
I can't stand you anymore. Roll over, don't bother me.
They are having sex. No, these are all people that were having sex. So yeah, if I was in my 60s and still having sex, I would be very satisfied. I don't care who it was coming. I don't know how long it lasted.
Harry, stop it. Roll over and go to sleep.
That's what it means, man. In your 60s, hell yeah. Whatever it comes. People are such, like in your 60s, you just don't give a shit about anything. You're like,
that's true.
It's so, it's whatever, just enjoy it. You're like, sex. It's great. Just enjoy it.
I wonder how sex is at 60. Have you ever thought of that?
No.
I would think it's quite saggy.
Well, apparently it's very satisfactory according to the study.
Okay, when we get there, we'll let you know.
We will do a part 2.
Yes.
Part two of What's Your Number in about
like
20 years.
SpongeBob, 100 years later.
But who's the most unsatisfied group?
Who's that?
Us.
Us? Oh my goodness.
People in their 30s.
I thought you were going to say married people.
Well, people in their 30s/40s.
Oh, wow.
Whether you're single or married.
I know a lot of unhappy married people.
Yeah, in their 30s or 40s.
Zero
right?
sex / their roommate situation, which is another podcast.
Yes. But I think it's understandable. Like, it makes sense because in your 30s and your 40s, you got kids in the house. You're going to college and you have those responsibilities and work and you're still going up your corporate ladder and you have expenses and you have bills and you have a mortgage and you have all that stuff and you have stress and
so no wonder the people in their 60s are having sex because if you're lucky
that shit is over with.
If you're lucky enough to still be married and like each other, you're having sex at 60.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
So people are like in their 30s and 40s. That's I think probably like the highest. I mean, we don't know, but the highest percentage are probably like divorces, and people are like starting to date again, and it's awkward, and it's like like oh my god, I've had babies and whatever, my body and whatever. Women are so much more, I don't know, just like concerned and worried, and am I gonna be found attractive and sexy and whatever? So I get it. I think in your 60s you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, what choice do you
have?
Like
literally, fuck it.
Yeah, unless you're Jane Fonda, who looks freaking hot for her age. I don't even know how old she is. She's probably like 100.
She's like 80 something. She looks amazing.
She does.
She really. I mean, I don't know if she's had plastic surgery, but
of course she has.
I would imagine, but she's also, she's always looked great. She's always taking care of herself, like really taking care of herself.
Exercise.
Yeah, and eat healthy. That's another episode.
To keep the viejos up.
So, do you think it matters what your number is ultimately?
I don't think it does at the end of the day. I think that if you're with somebody that really wants to be with you and you're in love and you guys have things in common and you get along, and I don't really think your number does anything to that.
Yeah.
Unless, again, going back to, you're a guy that had 100+ people. I mean, I don't know. Do you really want to be with somebody like that? I don't know.
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe if I didn't know. Maybe he was lying all the time. So it's like you never really know,
That's possible.
I saw this quote somewhere. I really liked it because it was like, whether low or high, sex numbers say a lot about your relationship with sex. That's really all it says. It's just how free you are, how uninhibited you are. It could also mean how fucked up you are, because that could be a reason too, where you're just like feeling that you can be alone or whatever. So that's there's a whole other reason.
And that would apply to the low or the high as well. You can
Yeah,
be
of
messed
course.
up and
Of
have
course.
nothing, or you could be messed up and be like a rabbit
Yeah.
all around Miami. It's like,
Yeah.
and everywhere else for that matter.
And you could be totally sane and you're just like, no, I'm just holding out for the right person, like, whatever. Maybe you had a period of like sleeping around and then all of a sudden you go like celibate and you're like, no, I'm not gonna give it up to anybody to
I've
just
taken a sabbatical.
sabbatical. Exactly.
I'm
So
on sabbatical at the moment.
there's a lot of reasons why your numbers might fluctuate during your life. I think it matters a little bit, like what you were saying earlier, like health reasons. Like I think if you tell me, like if we've gotten to the point of like we're gonna have that conversation and your number comes out at like, I don't know, 50, I'm like, I'm gonna need you to pee in a cup. like I need to see some results. I don't know.
Yeah, I think though,
Especially if you're like in that stage, sorry to interrupt, but if you're in that stage of like maybe now you're like not using protection because you feel like you want to be monogamous with this person.
But I would feel that you would want to know that that person is okay physically, even before, like, I don't know, I just
What do you
think
mean,
the
physically,
world
like mentally or
physically, no, physically, like no diseases, no sicknesses.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Regardless of whether it was 50, the number was 50
Okay.
or not.
Okay.
I think people nowadays, you need to do that. People, you need
Yeah.
to really get out there and be proactive in having someone go take a test. Go
Yeah.
take an HIV test. Go take a transmitted disease test, whatever
Yeah.
the heck they're called, STD test.
Yeah, I think if you've gotten to the point of like you're like maybe way before moving in together, but like if you say, okay, I don't want to see other people and you want to be like monogamous, I guess, I mean, at that point I could probably still use protection, but if you feel like you can trust this person, and maybe asking them for a test, but that's besides the point. Like,
I think that's naive. I think that
yeah, I think you have to.
I think most people, they fear asking someone to take an STD test or an HIV test. They fear that for whatever reasons. People can't fear their health.
No, you can't.
And you can't jeopardize your health because you're afraid that somebody's going to get their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
And, if their number's 20, 50, 100, regardless of the number, I think that that's just as an aside.
Yeah.
Go take the test. Go do those things. Use protection every step of the way until you get that positive or negative result, and take it from there. But I firmly believe that you need to be tested.
Yeah. And I think it matters too, like to some degree you might want to know if this person, like especially like maybe not what's your number, but if it's like this person's like first time, you got to be sure that you don't want to take that person's, I don't know, virginity for the sake of it. Like,
It's
I don't
unfortunate.
know.
I know we say that, but I'm sure that that's happened quite a lot.
Yeah.
And that's just a whole different topic on its own. But
Like if this is your significant other's first time, don't expect anything kinky. Like it's going to be, I guess, missionary style.
Unless they're really up on their porn, then,
Maybe where like parts go. Do you know that there's like this Chinese couple? This came out recently, like in the news, like a couple months ago. This Chinese couple was married for 4 years and have been trying to get pregnant for 4 years. They go to the doctor. the doctor finds out through examination and talking to them that they have been doing it wrong.
What the hell?
They've been doing it through the back door
Oh, Lord.
for 4 years. So the god doctor's like,
That's really weird.
yeah.
Do they have Sex for Dummies? Do they have a book called Sex for
I
Dummies?
don't know, but there's a lot of, I guess Chinese culture is like very like oppressed still, in some ways.
Oh, come on. I've heard that the Asians are one of the most promiscuous people.
Really? I've never heard
Yeah,
that.
I've heard that. Like
Really?
in Japan and other Asian countries, that the men there are like hornbags.
Well, maybe they've been doing
it wrong.
Back door the whole time.
Maybe that's why they only have like 1 or 2 kids per household.
Oh my god! Well, that's other reasons I think. But this particular woman, I mean, she was like, yeah, but it's like sex has been kind of painful. And it was like, seriously, and the doctor's like, that's why.
So don't they
So you
have
haven't
Google
doing it.
in, where was it?
China.
Don't they have Google in China? Like, don't you Google, like, is this normal and why does it hurt?
Yeah. So, I mean, if this is your significant other's first time, maybe you want to have them play that, like, can you put the square peg in the square hole?
I'm sorry, but I just have to say that ese chino hunda carao, because he knew exactly what he was doing. I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
One of them knew exactly what they were
Oh
doing.
my god! Well, supposedly, there was like they were saying that they had like a lot of shame in their families because they weren't conceiving. But oh my god, that could totally be true. We're like, what do you mean? I don't know.
This is the way it is, honey. This is the way you do it.
Oh my god! I never thought about that.
Yeah, sneaky.
Maybe
little-
she was doing that. Yeah, maybe she
Yeah.
was like, who knows? So she's
Sneaky.
like, damn, now I gotta get pregnant.
Sneaky.
So you might want to have your significant other do that a little, the little game that kids play to see if you can put the square peg in the... You play with that for a little bit. Let me see how you do.
Because you want
If
your
you
Rahu
score...
to go into your Navamsha.
Because if you are not, let me see, if you get 5 out of 10, I need you to practice with that a little bit more.
Yes, we need to keep practicing where the Rahu goes.
Yeah, that doesn't go there. So you might wanna just just bring out the game, just casually. Hey, that nice breaking. Let's have a little bit of wine and just like a little icebreaker. You want to play this game and see how it goes. Do you think the number has to do with how experienced you are? Well, I guess you do, because you said like you will consider somebody not being good in bed.
Well, okay. So if we really want to analyze this and break it down, I know so many guys that just go on rants, right, and have sex with everybody. They have sex with everything that moves, basically.
Especially after they go through like a really bad breakup.
So
that's how they deal with it.
So let's say the guy has like 50 people that he's had sex with.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that you're good at it.
Exactly.
Because you could just be a wham bam thank you ma'am kind of person, and then how good are you really?
Yeah.
So I think sex, however many times you have it, can lead to experience, but again, then it depends on who you're having it with.
Yeah.
But I think everything contributes to the experience, right? Whatever porn you're watching, whatever you read, Kama Sutra books,
left versus right hand.
Yes, I mean, hey, you never know. You never know.
I mean,
I think be ambidextrous for all I know.
There you go. There you go.
That must be.
You might be very flexible, and you can use other parts of your body.
I never thought of that, but yeah, I like that term, ambidextrous.
Yes. So I mean, the more you do something, obviously, the more, practice makes perfect, like they say. But that's if you're willing to learn from it. Otherwise, it's called insanity. Do something 100 times and you expect a different result. That's called insanity, people. Yes. So if you're doing it with many people, but you're not learning, because you might suck at it those 100 times with those 100 people. And that might be why you keep doing it with other people, because nobody wants to do it with you a second time. Because you suck.
Because you suck, and not in a good way.
Because you suck at, yeah. So it just means that you've had sex. It doesn't mean that you've had good sex or bad sex, or if you were good at it or bad at it, or if the person that you did it with was good at it or bad
I
at
wonder
it.
if we should now have like little questionnaires that you give people, have them take a survey after. It's like the survey
After?
says.
Why after?
After you rate me, you're rating like
Oh, like for me to rate me?
No, like for you to be rated by the person. Oh, can you take this little survey now and
Yeah,
like,
no,
answer
I'm not going to do
questions?
that.
Can you imagine?
I would do a survey before, but not after, and not for me. I would rate the other person, but I don't want somebody to rate me.
Well, I'm saying somebody would rate you.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know that I want to be rated.
Yeah, I don't know me neither. At least not out loud.
Or that's like guys after and that they're really insecure. They're like, oh my god, how was it? Was it good? It was good, right? It was good.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the hell?
I'm the best you've ever had, right?
Right? It wasn't that great.
I'm like hung, right? And you're like,
I have a big one. I'm like, okay. If you say so.
Sure, honey, sure. Whatever you say. So let's find out what our number is, and by number I mean just a little quiz.
Oh Lord.
Here we go. That you liked it. You know you liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it. There's this quiz that's called How Many of These 69? And coincidence? I think not. Of the 69, number 69. How many of these 69 things have you done with your partner? And I'm just going to read some out loud, and then we're going to tell you not which ones we did or didn't do, but the number
of quiz.
Our number.
Yeah.
So some of them is, let me see, the first one. You have had sex in the shower. Well, at least you're clean. You're clean. You're concerned about hygiene and cleanliness.
Yes, and I do think that a lot of people can check that one off.
Yeah. I mean, not only concerned about clean yourself and your partner, but the area that you're doing it in, correct, before or after. I think that says a lot about, a person. Good qualities there. And then you can see what the shower looks like, and you can see if they're clean or not. So you can check a lot of boxes by checking that box
I take it back. Maybe a lot of people haven't done that. After, if you go into a shower that's full of like mildew and nasty.
That would be so gross.
Like, oh my god.
If the shower is clean, that's fine. But if it's not, that is disgusting. That is gross. Nothing grosses me out than like seeing a dirty bathroom. That's gross. You have either performed or received oral sex. I think a lot of people can check that one off, right?
Yes, I would agree.
Hint, hint. You've had sex in a car. Depends what car.
Yeah.
If you're like, those priests that were caught here in South Beach.
Oh my goodness.
Did you hear
about that? And I couldn't believe it.
Well, they can check that one off.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. And if they had another one here that was about have you been like, tapped in the window by a cop, it would have gotten that one too. Right. But that one's not here, by the way. This is weird. I've heard about, wax, whatever, food, whipped cream, whatever. This one says, have you used ice?
Yes,
during
you've
foreplay?
Never heard of that?
I never heard of that.
Girl.
So now I've never checked that. I didn't check
you
that
need
one
to Google
out.
that. You need to Google that.
I need to try that, not Google it.
Well, first you need to
Google is not going to do anything.
You need to Google it so you know what you're doing.
Oh my God. You've had drunk sex. Oh my God. So many people have done that, Many people can check that one off.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Y si no me acuerdo, no paso. You heard that song from Thalia?
Yeah.
Yes. You've met a sex tape. Kim Kardashian.
Negative.
Thinking about you. I would never do that. Well, never say never, but I don't think I would ever do that.
No, don't let anybody video you, people. That comes back to bite you in the ass.
Always. You've done bondage. What does that mean? Does that mean like?
I was just gonna say, is this like 50 Shades of Grey bondage?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's what it is. Yeah. So it could
maybe
be like
that could be like interesting.
Mm.
And more so if the person you're doing it with looks like
the guy from 50 Shades of Grey,
the gray guy,
or Channing Tatum.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess that's all the whips and chains and handcuffs and
we're
acting like. What's that? We don't know what that is.
We're so innocent.
What is that? I'm sorry. What?
I don't know that I want to be whipped.
Well,
maybe a little smack or something. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like spanking.
Yeah, but with that thing, I would think that would hurt a lot. No?
I don't know. I've never tried it. I really
Especially
haven't.
if they whack you.
I really
hard.
haven't, Mom. I really haven't. I
If
really
they
haven't.
whack you hard with one of those things, like, wouldn't you get like a welt or something? Like, that's not fun.
Well,
is
I
it?
guess it's like
I
the
don't
same
know.
thing.
All you people that like bondage, like, just, chime in, write us, let us know what we're missing out on. Give us a little feedback here.
Yeah. You used to leash on your partner. I guess that's part of bondage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that. I don't like.
You don't
Like-
like being strangled.
No, normally no, I don't.
And asphyxiated.
But I don't like the whole submissiveness that comes with that. To me, that's like I don't like it. To me, it's just like insulting. It's like no, I don't like seeing women, especially like if you watch porn.
I sense a dominatrix role in the future for you. We know which part you will be playing, Kathy.
I don't like that. I don't like seeing women like that. Like to me, it's like they have no control. They're being used. That's what it translates to me. I don't think it's pretty or sexy or a turn on. I don't really like that. You've had sex more than 4 times a day. Damn! Somebody has a lot of free time on their hands.
Well, what are days off for? Not for that. What are vacations for?
You've used a sex swing. No.
I've never done that, but then
Me
that goes
neither.
back to that 50 Shades thing. They
I
had
think
a
I'm
sex
like-
swing in there, right?
Oh, they had everything.
They had everything. They had like a hookup room in there.
On Sex and the City, remember Samantha? She used like a sex swing in that episode. That looked interesting.
Do you remember when HBO, I think it was HBO or Showtime or something, they used to have those sex episodes where they would have people on the street and ask them random
Yes.
questions about sex,
Yes.
and then show like somebody that made dildos or
Yeah.
or those like horses, like an electric
Like
horse.
fantasies. It was all
Yeah.
about like fantasies.
They
Yeah.
used to have like the craziest
Yeah.
stuff on
It was
there.
really interesting.
I love
like-
that show.
There was one. You have it on DVR. Don't lie.
I love it.
Don't lie. You watch it every night.
I did. It was so cool because it was raw and the people would just it wasn't
I did
censored.
watch those things. Yeah.
It
They
was
were like real
awesome.
people. It was like
How about the one where they
And,
would
like, real
make up
couples
those
or
dolls
whatever.
that would look like real human people?
yeah.
That's crazy, but whatever.
There's something going on now with those dolls. There's either they're either gonna do like a club or something like there's somebody's doing a business with that now. I heard about it recently. I'm gonna look
Wow.
into it. I'll get back to you.
Thanks.
But I remember and like, there was like a swingers episode. I remember like the couples and they would talk about that. And
I think it was called Real Sex,
I think so.
right?
I think that's what it was
that.
called, yeah. But anyway, we digress. And obviously, one of the questions is, have you had tantric sex? Is that like mentally? That's not the same as like Kama Sutra. Tantric is like more like
I don't know.
like sensory. Like it's not really.
I think, yeah.
I don't think it even
we need to
requires-
Google that.
I
I
think
have no idea.
I think there was an episode. I think on Real Sex there was an episode about that. That's more like sensory, like.
Oh yeah, that's
right?
when they start doing all those chants and all that stuff.
It's not
and
even
they
like-
get into-
There's no insert anything.
No.
I don't think there's like any.
Oh, and there was like a period where they didn't touch each other. so
Yes,
you had to,
it's like sensory, like
yeah.
there's no penetration or anything. I think it's more like I don't know, whatever. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So what do you think? Does your number you think says something about like going back to the movie? What's your number? Do you think your number says anything about your chances of either finding, like getting married, or your marriage lasting? Do you think it has an effect on that?
I don't know that it has an effect on that one way or the other. I think it all depends on the person, and I do think that most people, as they get older, they get more set in their ways, and it could be a little harder to perhaps get married, because as you said earlier, you have all these people thinking, I have to find the right one, or I have to find the one. And during that entire process, well, do you even know who the one is and what they have to have? I think a lot of people have the fantasy of who the one is. And perhaps maybe even use that as an excuse to have sex with 50, 60 people. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know that if you have sex with a lot of different individuals that lessens your chances of getting married, staying in a happy marriage, or having a long lasting relationship. I don't really think that the number has anything to do with anything. I think it's more you and the journey that you go through
Yeah.
while discovering all these different
Yeah, because
people.
again, you could hopefully you have gathered experience not only about life and relationships, but also about yourself. You learned about yourself, about, from all these people that you've come in contact with. Because at the end of the day, we are made up of the experiences that we've lived. So whenever you get to that point of like committing yourself to one person, it's, you are the person that is made up of all these experiences, including the people that you've slept with. So hopefully it could, if you're at that point and if you're healthy emotionally and whatever healthy and you can commit to one person, I mean that's great. So maybe those people that you slept with helped you, in getting to that. But it could also create a lot of baggage because maybe you're fucked up and you didn't learn from those experiences, you didn't get over them, you didn't process them, you didn't, I don't know, you didn't, I guess, take care of the effect that they had on you. So it could go either way, I think. I think people say, sow your oats before you get married, which I think is true. I think you should do.
Almost definitely. I think everybody should go. I'm not endorsing rampant sex on people. I'm not saying go and be crazy.
A little bit you are.
Pillage the village with sex,
Pillage the village. Oh my God.
But
I love that term. Pillage the village.
But yeah, go out there. Go do your thing. Be safe. Be nice to people. Be kind to people. Don't be an ass. Don't do stupid things just because you want to have sex.
Yes.
Just be kind to people.
I think you should try.
Live your best life.
Yes. You should try and see what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like, because, sex, like it or not, is a huge part in a marriage. It just is. So, I mean, I don't want to be, like, I've never really liked the term of like sow your oats or like, oh yeah, it's time to settle down, because to me settling down sounds like boring. So I don't think I wouldn't want to be, like have that mentality of like, oh, I'm gonna have all the fun now because when I get married I'm not gonna have any fun.
Yeah, it's over.
Because that's a recipe for divorce.
Which is a different podcast.
Yeah, so I mean, yes, sow your oats in the sense, try and see what it is that you like. And that way you'll know what to look for.
I think another thing to that too is that when you're going through these adventures and you're having sex with all these different people, of course you're gonna have takeaways of some things that you like. You're like, whoa, I didn't know that move. Like now I'm gonna use it, know. But I think that when you're intimate with someone, regardless of who it's with, if you're gonna stay with them, if you're not, if you're long term, if you're short term, if you're married, whatever. Be expressive of what you like and what you don't like. Don't just keep silent. Just communicate.
And also ask the other person, what do you like? What don't you like? Did you like that? Did you not like that? Why? More pressure. Let's bring.
Yeah, don't ask. Is my
not
wiener
there?
big?
There, not there. So express your feelings, but also ask the other person what it is that they like. Going back to that, sowing your oats, I mean, absolutely. And I think, you shouldn't get married too young. Look at that guy from the Duggar family. I think he's like not even 30 now. He's not even 30. And I mean, they caught him like cheating, aside from the other thing he did, which is like, that's a criminal act. But what he did with like the cheating with like that Ashley Madison website. But it's like, I can't blame him. The guy was like 20 when he got married. Like one sexual partner, they have 5 kids now. It's like, I don't know. Like I don't know.
I'm kind of on the fence about this Ashley Madison website that it's monetizing on cheating and all that.
I think it's been taken down now.
I don't know because I've never like.
No, that website is like
so shady.
Yeah, it's like, my God, you're like, yeah, you're definitely making money on people cheating, but I don't know. Then again, I mean, people are gonna do it, whether or not it's legal or not. I mean, whether or not it's on a website, it's like. So anyway, so what was the result of our quiz? What is your number, Jeanette Lorenzo?
Well,
out of 69,
wait,
drum roll. How many of these 69 things have you done with your partner? What is your number?
40.
Oh my God, you're a slut.
OMG, I'm so embarrassed.
Oh my God, you're a WHORE.
Not really, but okay.
No, you're not.
So now we're gonna ask Kathy what her number is. Drum roll.
I'm a prude compared to you.
What's your number?
31.
Oh. Wah, wah, wah. No, that's fine. You're only 9 acts away from me.
That's a lot.
That's okay. You have time. You can get there. I have faith in you.
I'm gonna Google the ice thing. That's interesting. I don't know.
I recommend it.
Ice, baby.
And with that, we leave you. Have a wonderful day. Hasta la bye.
Just remember, whatever your number is, high or low, just be sure to use protection, people. Be safe out there. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, remember to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at
Café con Leche en 305.
Gracias.